Welcome everyone to this round floor clash of the National Premier League's Queensland as we have the hosts Olympic FC taking on Peninsula Power. What a contest this promises to be with these two sides, both making the finals last season and desperate for 3 points tonight. As I can tell you, it is a magical afternoon here in the south of Brisbane, and the pitch is well and truly A1, so both these sides should put on a real show here for this evening's contest. There's already been 31 goals scored in 5 games in this round 4 of the NPL, so who knows what we've got in store tonight. High scoring matches so far, as we will really quickly run through the team sheets before we get this contest underway. For the home side, it is Lockie Hunter in goals, and in front of him it is Shelford Deas, number 2, 4, Jack Glover, 5, Tyson Martin, 6, Matt Mundy, 7, Daniel Leck, 8, Kazuya Ito, 9, Olaide Yinka Kahinde, 11, Jez Lofthouse, 12, Costa Saros, 19, Phil Lazem, and the substitutes for them is the 15, Kristen Waters, 20, Tolga Ural Maz, 21, Nick Mooney, 22, James Kumaneo, and the number 32, David Ishimwe. As we're just going to have a minute's silence here. Yes, just having a minute's silence there, and I'll finish off running through the Peninsula Power, the visitors team sheet. Number 1, Jake Reesby. In front of him, the 2, Daniel McHenry, 4, Daniel Cunha, 5, Chris Janchevsky, 6, Cameron Kirstani, 7, Marek Maddle, 8, Josh Woolley, 10, Tom Strickland, 15, Sam Roper, 20, Trent McAvoy, 23, Sam Cronin. On the bench for them, 9, Brenton Fox, 11, Richard Hurlin, 17, James Fairgrave, 19, Mitchell Bird, and the reserve goalkeeper is Tanashi Madhu. As we're just about to get this contest underway for this round 4, completing the weekend in the NPL. What a round it has been. Some upsets, but mainly goals galore. Healthy crowd in attendance, I can tell you as well, for this Sunday evening kickoff, as Olympic in their home red strip get us underway with the Power in their blue strip. The Power on the ball is Cronin. Hasn't he been in some serious form? Certainly a player to watch out there for the visitors, as Cunha comes across and sticks the elbow out to foul Costa Saros. Can tell you these two sides do not like each other. 2 games last season. There was a red card in the first game, and very fiery again in the second game. Here's Yinka Kahinde. Saros linking up with him. Yinka Kahinde, challenge coming in. Cristani. Leck, really impressed with his game last weekend, Daniel Leck, in a disappointing loss for the home side tonight. Now Lofthouse uses Deus. That man was one of them involved. Is Yinkika Hinde onside? He hits it. The flag does go up. It wouldn't have counted anyway, but he'll be disappointed with that effort, putting it wide. Even though the offside flag went up. Just didn't fall his way last week, the former Holland Park man, in that 3-1 loss to the Knights. Can't get it past Deus. As I can tell you, that minute silence that we observe, I'll just break away from that because the Power are pressing on the ball. There's Ito defending that situation. Yes, the minute silence that was observed before kickoff was for Jim Giorgio, the ex-Greek community president who helped generate the funds for the clubhouse, passed away this morning, aged 62. So my thoughts are with his friends and family at this time as the Power have an early corner. Swung in, headed away by Ito. Still could be a chance though for the Power. Back to Roper. Edge of the area, gets the ball back across. Still a chance, they can't get it clear. Woolley flicks it to the back post. Roper's there. Olympic can't get it clear. High up and under from Yinkika Hinde. Going to no man's land, and eventually it is Glover who puts his foot through it. Good start from the visitors. Here's Cunha. Playing in the former Lions man in Marek Madel. And the former Raw man just getting a touch there as well in Cam Crestani. Roper. Out wide. Jencheski with the early throw-in. He's looking for that man in Madel. Deus. He had a strong coming together when these two sides last met with Tommy Strickland, so it'll be interesting to see if those two go toe-to-toe again. Cunha just nudges Yinkika Hinde out of the way, back to Crestani, one of their prize recruits this season. Linking up with their 2019 Players Player of the Year in Roper. Plenty of touches for a few of their key players. Strickland to Cunha. Roper again. Olympic can't get the ball at the minute. Here's Cronin now. 5 goals already this season for him, including one last week in that win over the Wanderers. Ball from Woolley, just looked to feed in Madel. Here's Leck now. Back to Mundy. He was also another standout performer last weekend in a disappointing side. Roper dispossesses Leck. Here's Saros. Scored 2 goals last time these sides met. Might use Ito out on this left-hand side. He does. Kazuya Ito. Just looking for runners off him. Plays it to Leck. Saros again. Uses Leck. Now Olympic just getting a few touches and getting into this contest as it's been all one-way traffic. There's the foul on Woolley for the Power. Yes, they played twice last season, with the last time they met a 4-3 win to Olympic at AJ Kelly Park, with Costa Saros and Alex Smith both getting braces. Here's Roper now. Saros got the important touch, but Cunha was back there to dispossess him as The ball goes out for an Olympic throw-in. As Deus leaves it for Glover. To Leck it goes. All the way back to Martin. Here's Ito. Uses Saros. Wants the ball played forward again, does Ito. Does well, Saros. Skips around Crestani. Can't pick out Yinka Kahinde, but here's Leck. Lines it up off Roper. Deus is there. Headed away by Janczewski out on that far side, but this is better from Olympic. Lofthouse, the man that scored that first goal last weekend against the Knights, takes the throw in. Back to Glover. Does well to get around Cronin. Little dink over the top was looking for Yinka Kahinde. Glover does well again. Nice turn from Lazem. Feeds in Saros. Nice little flick from him. Here's Yinka Kahinde. Gets the vital key touch. Head of the power defender. Out to Ito it goes. This is nice from Olympic. They'll get it clear though. Will the power through Woolley. Turns it over cheaply though. Here's Lofthouse now. Looks up. Room in front of him as well. Looks to take on Janczewski. Does well initially. Lofthouse just too heavy, that touch from him, and it goes out for a goal kick to the visitors. High tempo start to start this Sunday evening round 4 clash of the NPL Queensland competition. Roper now. They'll well and truly be looking to bounce back, will Olympic, after that disappointing loss to the Knights last weekend. Crestani just plays a high up and under, but apologises to his teammate in Maddle. As Hunter collects comfortably. Here's Ito now. Plenty of early touches for him. Mundy. Roper. Strickland now. Back to Cunha it goes. The Brazilian. To their captain in McAvoy. Playing keepings off at the minute. The visitors. Cunha. Gets it from McHenry. Madley. Strickland. Dispossess. Here's Lazem, who was looking for the run of Yinka Kahinde. It wasn't there. Cunha appears to foul Lazem, but the referee waves play on. Gives advantage to Olympic, in fact. Here's Lofthouse now. Will he take on Janczewski this time? Still he goes, Lofthouse. He goes down as well. Did appear to be a slight grab of the shirt, but possibly not enough in that for the referee, as looks like that is Marek Madley who is fouled out there by Glover, and he goes into the referee's notebook for a yellow card, as Lofthouse just remonstrates with the referee, wanting the penalty back there. Not enough in it for his liking though, as we get a yellow card, the first of potentially many yellow cards tonight if last season's games were anything to go by. Lofthouse does well. Good battle so far between he and Janczewski. He's having more words to the referee, Lofthouse. Feels he's been on the end of a couple of wrong decisions now. Comes off Cunha for a throw in to Olympic. Off Cunha again. Deus now with the little flick down to Yinka Kahinde, but The former Holland Park man can't get on the end of it. You feel if it will eventually fall for him. Yinka Kahinde has got bags of goals in him, but so far this season, well, last weekend's game, it just didn't quite happen for him. It was half chances, but nothing real clear cut, and in the end he just got frustrated with the game. It's a flick over the top, Hunter off his line quickly. Here's Leck now, who's got some space in front of him. The former Raw man out to Deus. The 1-2 with them. Leck, still he goes. Can't get it. Claims for handball there. And I can tell you the Olympic bench are absolutely furious out on that far side. Came off McAvoy, but now the Power are countering. Here's Madley. Into the box he goes. Touch just forces him wide. Glover stands him up well. Now he's got to take on two defenders, and Glover has done really well there in the end and has earned the goal kick for his side after it looked like the Power were going to go down the other end and potentially put some goal scoring pressure on Olympic. As I can tell you, the other NPL fixture between Eastern Suburbs and the Raw Youth has just got underway, and an early goal to the Raw Youth inside 4 minutes there. Here's McHenry now. Plays in Woolley. Continues his run forward. McHenry, the ball back across. He was looking for Strickland at that far post. Ball has too much on it for him initially. Strickland can't get past Glover, who's done really well. On a yellow card, so it's going to be a nervy rest of the game for him, but he's done well after receiving that yellow card, making a couple of important challenges. The Olympic centre back, as it's Woolley out on that far side, as the sun just setting here at Goodwin Park. In it goes from Willie. There's McHenry, headed away by Leck. Deus back there. Leaves it short. Here's Cronin now. Numbers in the middle. Comes off Saros, and it'll be another corner to the visitors. If they were to win today, the Power, they would go to top of the table, with the Knights, of course, having that game in hand. As for Olympic, if they can get all 3 points today, they can go as high as second on the ladder. In it goes from Woolley. There's Cunha. Comes off, looks like Lazem back there. Another corner for the Power, as Josh Woolley's going from side to side, taking these corners. Lofthouse, I can tell you, still having a few words with the referee. Now Woolley. Numbers to pick out in the middle. There's McAvoy in there. Cunha, the height of Yanchevsky as well. And it goes from Woolies. Too much on it from him. It'll come out to McAvoy though. Plays it to Roper. Just looking to reset now. The Power. Yanchevsky, Cronin. Back out to Woolley, who stayed out on that far side. He's looking for the cheeky nutmeg on Deus, but he was up to the task. Strickland gets around Lofthouse. Here's Madley. McHenry. Saros does well. Back to Ito it goes. So they've stood up well there, have Olympic, with all those corners, 3 corners. As Mundy, too much on it for Costa Saros. McHenry gets on with things quickly. Strickland. The run of Cronin headed away by Tyson. Now Cunha. Now to Janczewski, sorry. Still he goes. Janczewski too much on it though. And that touch actually comes off Deus, so it's another corner to the Power. I make that 5 corners so far to the Power. Plenty of pressure that they're putting on the Olympic goal. Woolley, he's had plenty of siders. The last one was too far from this exact position. What can he do now? In it goes, it's better from Woolley. There's McAvoy again, headed away, falls to Cronin, who hits it just over. From Sam Cronin, he has got his shooting boots on to start this NPL campaign. 5 goals, as I mentioned, a goal last weekend from him. And 4 of the best against the Crusaders back in round 1. And that was not too far away. Roper almost playing a nice first time ball to Strickland, but too much on it from him. Now Olympic just looking to get some of the ball. Mundy plays a direct option for Yinka Kahinde, headed away by McAvoy. Crestani now. They've looked in control, have the Power so far. Saros. McAvoy coming through, not giving Lofthouse a sniff, who, as I mentioned, scored last weekend against the Knights before they put 3 past them. Here's Yinka Kahinde, does well to skip around Crestani. Still he fights, he does really well in the end, and they've pulled back the free kick. It is going to Olympic, but I can tell you the Olympic bench wanted that advantage played. Lofthouse did get the shot away and it was saved comfortably by Reesby, so probably has worked out better for Olympic getting the free kick back in this position. They can reset and Daniel Leck or potentially Jez Lofthouse can try and deliver something special. Looks like it is going to be Leck, the man playing in the NPL Victoria last season, back up in Queensland. Had a stellar performance last weekend. Despite the loss, showed plenty of life, the Olympic midfielder. It is Leck, and it goes from Leck, it's just wide. For a second I thought that was nestling in the back of the net, but just wide from Daniel Leck. And that's what this Olympic side can do. It's been all one-way traffic. And then they go up the other end and almost make the Power play. Crestani with the switch out to McAvoy. Janczewski looking to feed in Cronin. Cross smartly again is Glover. He's had a solid start to this contest tonight. Leck. Well and truly hemmed in that far corner there. Falls to Yinka Kahinde. To Lazem now. Lazem's got Ito out on this far side. The diving challenge from both players there. And I can tell you, Woolley stayed down with the challenge from Mundy as it falls, fortunately, to Yinka Kahinde. Keeper off his line. Lofthouse just has to tuck it home. Open goal. There are challenges coming in thick and fast here. We've got players down everywhere. And it might even kick off. Well, I said before the start of the match that these two sides don't like each other. As well and truly, the game goes from being calm and settled to heated in the matter of seconds. as it was Lofthouse eventually putting that shot wide, and he got clattered. The referee just put the whistle away and let everything play on. McInnery, there's some spice to this game now, as you knew there was going to be at some point tonight. That might even just spark Olympic a little, because they've been a little flat, you've got to say. Not being able to get a foothold on this game. They have been tight at the back, though, I might say, defending well. Here's Cronin to Roper. Glover again makes another important challenge. Lofthouse skips around Cunha. Referee gives the advantage to him. Still Lofthouse goes. Backtracks to Deus. Stays up there, Lofthouse. Deus just looking for him. Goes back to Leck instead. Lazem's got Ito, uses him. This is better from the home side now. Ito to Saros, who fires a ball across. Just didn't fall for Lofthouse, with the ball bobbling around inside the penalty area. Nice looking ball from Saros, just firing it across. He enjoys playing against Peninsula Power. As I mentioned, 2 goals last time these two sides met. Up there at AJ Kelly. Here's Woolley, skips around Ito, does really well. Does Josh Woolley. Still he goes looking for support. Well done from Martin. Falls to Roper now. Roper to Strickland. Going this way, that way. And they turn it over, and there's another coming together there between Matt Mundy and Josh Woolley, and the referee's got to get a hold of this before. And I can tell you the red card coming out for Matt Mundy. I did see it. It was a slight lash out from Matt Mundy with the ball well and truly gone. He's had no complaints. So this game is well and truly alive, as Olympic going down to 10 men, and what a key man that is in Matt Mundy. As we've had less than 25 minutes played here, and wow, we haven't seen a goal yet, but gee, it has been a fiery contest, particularly in this last 3 or so minutes. As Woolley's back up to his feet now. Mundy's cleared the pitch after that red card, and it's going to be Cronin. Can he well and truly rub salt into the wounds and score a goal, as well as the red card? As the referee's just going to go across to have a chat to his linesman out on that far side, as you can see on camera. Thought for a second we were done with that passage of play, but maybe the linesman spotted something. It's coming from the Olympic bench, in fact, as the referee goes across just to have a few words to Ben Khan. Might just be a few words. Doesn't appear that he's going for a card. Might be his final warning, as he might have had a few choice words to say to the assistant out on that far side. So finally, we've had a slight hold up thanks to that red card, and we can get action underway. Cronin, what can he do? Similar position to what Olympic had moments earlier. It is Cronin! 1-0 to the Power. Sam Cronin. He can't stop scoring at the minute. 6th goal to him this season, as Olympic get the double blow, the red card and the goal. A special goal, I might add, from Sam Cronin. And it's 1-0 to the visitors, just like that. And it's a flat Goodwin Park, I can say. As the home side dealt with the red card and going a goal down. Lazem now has it to Ito. As Madley looking to bowl over Ito. Nothing in that though. Here's Deus. Well, what have Olympic got? Saw a red card in one of the fixtures between these two sides last season. And we've seen another one, an early one. Here is Hunter off his line. Takes no chances, just puts it out on that far side with Madley bearing down on him as Woolley requires some attention from the medical staff. Doesn't look like it's due to that knock he would have picked up from Matt Mundy, as he's just getting some attention. Looks like some sort of a leg injury to him. Well, we can take a breather here at Goodwin Park. If you're just tuning in, then you've missed quite a fiery contest, especially in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And then Sam Cronin from the free kick, delivering a special goal to put the Power 1-0 up. As Woolley back up to his feet now out on that far side, so we get play underway. McInnery back to Crestani. They were just starting to show signs that they were warming to the task. Were Olympic before that red card and goal went in. Now it's well and truly going to be difficult for them. They're going to have to show an impressive display. There's McInnery with the header. Over from him. And he was onside as well. That ball from Cronin again, I think it was. Glover now. Doesn't help as well when your centre back's on a yellow card, when you're already down to 10. And he's going to have to chase this ball down as he's able to see it out. Hunter now. To Lazem. Was looking for Saros. As you can just see the Olympic players, their heads are down, because they know the blow that they've just been dealt with, particularly a player of Matt Mundy's quality. He's so pivotal to the home side, playing that defensive midfield role, such a key part of their setup. Now the Power go forward. Roper was looking for McInnery. They get out of that. Lazem. Saros now. Still he goes, Saros. Can't get past Cunha. Now Ito with a throw-in. To Saros again. McInnery does well. Crestani back there. Little dink over the top from him as that ball appeared to cross the line, and the assistant gives the throw in favour of the home side. Well, I can tell you from just chatting to their coaching staff, they were very flat after the 3-1 defeat last weekend to the Knights. But since then they were able to put in some nice training runs and try and turn it around tonight, as Lofthouse has the ball, feeds in Deus. Was looking for Saros, but too many numbers back there for the Power, as you feel like that could be one of the stories of the night after they do have that extra man. Hunter has got to be careful. He just puts his foot through it in the end. Falls to Lazem. Now Leck. They're starting to get a few nice touches. Our Olympics. Still, they've well and truly got the quality to get out of this. Just looking for some confidence. The switch from Martin just bounces over and eludes Deus. As Janczewski with the throw in right near the Olympic bench. Back to Reesby it goes. Leck looking to pressure, and Yinki Kahinde has done well. Here is Leck, into the box he goes. Leck, challenge coming in, and looks like we're going to have a goal kick in the end. So that's a nice bit of work there from McAvoy. Not only putting the challenge in, but also winning the goal kick for his side. Woolley been heavily involved in the action. They're just going to have to withstand a lot of this possession. Our Olympic. Janczewski looks up. There's Madley, but Hunter does well. Wasn't a lot he could do about last week's performance after those two absolute screamers. One from Max Brown and the other from Mitch Nichols, early contenders for goals of the season, as Glover plays a nice ball through to Lofthouse. Jez Lofthouse has to get past two players, and that is going to be a difficult task when you're dealing with the likes of Cunha. As I can tell you, a few of the Olympic substitutes just warming up out on that far side, so could even see a change from Ben Khan before the half is out. Could even see the debut of Tolga Urilamaz, who is on the bench tonight for the home side. Now Cristani. In no rush at all are the visitors. Who had that unbelievable season in the Football Queensland Premier League and then backed it up again last season with the jump up to the NPL, with another superb season, eventually finishing in that third place. Nice switch from Leck, finds Ito. Saros, back to Leck. Ito, Saros gets it again, just keeps the ball in, but dispossessed from McInnery. Cronin linking up with Madley. Can't dink it over Ito on that occasion. Strickland now uses Roper. This is nice. He's got Woolley there if he wants. Still he goes Roper. Out to Janczewski. Running at Lofthouse this time is Janczewski. Deus back, lending a hand. And it's a corner again for the Power. Well, that's what Olympic might have to do a fair bit of tonight. The double team there with Lofthouse defending the situation, then Deus just realising it's one-on-one, so he came across and got the important block in. As Woolley takes the corner, low and hard. Hunter punches it away. Now Lofthouse just looks up, looking for numbers. Deflection as he looked to switch it out to Yinki Kahinde. Might be a very different halftime chat to what he said before the game for Ben Khan. Likewise, it might also be different for Aaron Phillip, the power coach. Will look to play keepings off for a fair bit of the rest of the game. Out to Strickland now. To Woolley. Cronin. Roper's there. The challenge coming in from Saros. We play on though. Here's Strickland. Gets the shot away. It's saved by Hunter first time as Olympic just looking to get it clear. They do eventually, but nice shot from Strickland and a tidy save from Lockie Hunter. As Cronin gives away the free kick. Strickland was just looking to get it on that left peg of his. Had to dance around one challenge and eventually found himself in the middle of the pitch as challenge coming in there from Lofthouse on Cronin. Cunha. Out to Woolley. Woolley's got Madley there, but can't get it past Glover, who's done well again. Another corner to the visitors as they look to go top of the table tonight. With the Knights currently on top on goal difference. And it goes from Woolley. Low and hard again from him. He'll get the ball back. Plenty of numbers back there. Olympic don't want to concede a second before half time. The high up and under, Hunter has to be careful. He's done really well, as he had many of players just bearing down on him. One of them, the power captain in Trent McAvoy. So he did well there to show some bravery, the Olympic shot stopper. As the assistant has spotted something that did appear to be something come off the goals, as it was McAvoy who went flying into the back of the net. I've got to be honest, I cannot see what it is, but I know there is something on the ground. Referee has a check, but we play on. Another slight hold up in this first half, as we get on with things again. Cristani to McAvoy. Cunha. If they can go into this contest 1-0 down, they'll be able to just regroup. Olympic have a chat, and who knows what they could do. Tough ask being down to 10 men, but they might be able to pull something back on the counter, as I'm sure the visitors will be looking to make it 2 before half time and ice this game as quickly as they can, because they've got a tough run of fixtures coming up, which I'll get to later. But for now, it's Yinka Kahinde for Olympic. Plays in Lofthouse, edge of the area. Lofthouse fires it in. Plenty of power. If it was either side of Reesby, it was a goal, but straight to Reesby from Jez Lofthouse, looking for his 3rd goal of the season, after netting one last weekend against the Knights. Unusual situation that we had down there at the Croatian Sports Centre in the Gold Coast with the power outage, and then it was probably only a minute or 2 later, and Lofthouse in the box just buried a goal home. And from that moment, it was all one-way traffic to the Knights, who have had a really impressive start to their 2020 campaign. Cunha now Uses Crestani, who's just crept forward ever so slightly. Cronin, Woolley, link up with Madley, is just brilliant. Still he goes Woolley. Just bowls over Ito. They get it back to the power. Crestani, that's got some nice shape to it, but Deus back there with the header. It's all hands on deck back there for Olympic, as they're desperate to get to this halftime break. Just the one goal behind. Long throw in there. Falls to Yinka Kahinde. Dispossessed, now Cunha. Now to Strickland. Plenty of class out there on show from both sides here in the Queensland top flight. Woolley does brilliant. Yanchevsky, can he track the ball down? Ball back across, too much on it for Roper. As Lazem, now Olympic, look to counter. Yinka Kahinde, disappointing first time, made up for it second time. As Olympic look to break. The ball not quite up to the task from the Olympic speedster. They get it back though. Ito. Now to Saros. McInnery with the sliding challenge. Does well. Roper. Woolley wanted that ball played to him. He got it eventually, but well tracked back by Deus. This game slightly stretched just before half-time. Here's Saros now. To Lazem, it falls kindly. Saros gets it back. Couldn't get it past Crestani, whose positioning was A1 as Cunha with the solid contact there on Phil Lazem. As the referee says, nothing untoward there. Leck now. All the way out to Deus it goes. Back to Glover. Martin. Gotta say, they've been pretty rock solid at the back, have Olympic? I mean, they've conceded the goal to the free kick. Not a lot you could do about that, with a special moment from Sam Cronin. Apart from that, they have looked quite solid at the back. Madley was looking for the nod down. There was no teammate there, though. Now Deus. Just getting a few more touches on the ball are Olympic here before half-time. Now to Martin again. I'm not sure who he was looking for there. Forward it goes. Here's Madley. Gets goal side of Glover. Still he goes Madley. The layoff to Woolley. Tussling with Lazem, who's done really well. Back to Leck. Now Ito. Well, once again, Glover got caught goal side, but then he made up for it. Tracking back nicely and forcing Madley to retreat as Lofthouse strides forward. Uses Deus. Cutting inside Deus. The little toe poke looking for Yinka Kahinde, but too much on it from him. But I can tell you that drew a round of applause from the Olympic coach in Ben Khan. Positive signs here for Olympic. Roper. Now to McInnery. Strickland to Cunha. Now to the goal scorer in Cronin. Running at the Olympic defenders. Nice ball. There's a layoff. Oh, Yanchevsky was looking for numbers in the middle. Just too far behind from him. as the challenge coming in there on Lofthouse. And then we might see a yellow card even. As Phil Lazem remonstrates with the referee. As it was Cunha who bowled over Jez Lofthouse, but we get on with things in injury time in this first half, which has well and truly flown by. Hunter, back to Glover. Here's Leck. Can they pinch one back before the half is out? Deus to Lofthouse. Nice work there from McAvoy. Coming across. Throw in though to Olympic. Neither side able to get some telling possession. Lazem does well to intercept that ball from Madley. Since that, it was probably only a 5 or so minute period where it was really fiery. Since then it has well and truly calmed down, but we've still got a half to play. Glover looking for Yinka Kahinde, battling with McAvoy. Does well first time, but that touch might let him down. McAvoy back with the sliding challenge, and Yinka Kahinde has done well to earn his side a corner just before half time. Leck across to take. They're going to have to capitalise on these half chances from the corners, as Glover and Martin are well and truly up there. In it goes from Leck. That ball appeared to cross the line. We play on, but the referee does pull it back with the flag eventually going up. So disappointing from Leck, who's had a promising first half after a solid showing last week. One of the standout players for Olympic in that loss. They'll go into the sheds though with a little bit of confidence, because since that red card they've well and truly started to get a few more passes together. As the whistle goes for half time here, it is 1-0. The Peninsula Power leading Olympic FC. We've seen a red card, of course, to Matt Mundy, so who knows what we'll have in store for the second half, as it is 1-0 to Peninsula Power over Olympic at half time.
touch. Spectacular.
This time the cross. A towering header.
The keeper's out. The net's open.
Some people can't hide their passion. Don't hide yours. Join our team.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Happiness is knowing you'll find the perfect vehicle every time. Thrifty, smiles all the way.
Welcome back, everyone, to this second half of this round 4 contest in the National Premier League's Queensland competition, as it is the Peninsula Power who have the 1-0 advantage over Olympic at the half-time break. A red card in the 22nd minute to that man in Matt Mundy. And then straight from that free kick, Sam Cronin stepped up, delivered a perler of a free kick into the back of the net and gave the visitors that crucial 1-0 advantage, which is how it stayed for the rest of the half. The Power well and truly dominating possession and controlling this game, as you'd expect, having that one-man advantage. But there were signs from Olympic that they might be able to cause something on the counter, and they well and truly showed that they're not just going to throw the towel in and let this game go. And a few of the home fans just chanting as they were making their way out onto the pitch, trying to lift their home side for this second half. It was a fiery first half at times, much like we saw for both games last season against these two clubs. Wonder if we're going to be in for more of the same in this second half. The Power currently sitting in second position as things stand, with the Knights in first with the better goal difference, and Olympic down in ninth spot. So a huge second half coming up here at Goodwin Park. We could be in store for absolutely anything as both sides go in search of the 3 points. Both sides desperate for it after Olympics' slightly disappointing start to their campaign. And the Power, they've got really tough fixtures coming up, so crucial for these two sides, as it is the Power getting us underway. Cunha now out to his skipper in McAvoy. Jancheski continues his run forward, but Glover and Deus back there able to see it out. Jack Glover picked up that early yellow card, but apart from that, he had an outstanding first half, making many key interceptions from him. Hunter, forward it goes from Lockie Chock Hunter. Out to Lazem. Here's Ito now. Lofthouse wanted it played early. Gets it eventually, does Lofthouse. The ball just too much on it from Ito. Cronin, the goal scorer. Couldn't play it to Madley as he was offside. He might be onside now. Cronin. Back there with Martin, who does well. Sees the ball out for another goal kick. Here's Saros. We'll need him to stand up in this second half if they're going to be alive. Lofthouse, early ball to Yinka Kahinde. What about that for some pace? Yinka Kahinde, McAvoy just diving at it, getting his body in the way, and Yinka Kahinde settles for the corner. Confidence just slightly building for the home side. That speed from Olaide Yinka Kahinde. McAvoy did ever so well to just throw his body at it and prevent the shot. And it goes from Leck. Well done by Reesby. Too close to him from Leck. Long ball forward in, as it looks like we've had a half-time substitution. Looks like it's the number 8, Josh Woolley, who has made way for the number 9 in Brenton Fox, as Saros out on that far side. McHenry with the tackle, and another corner to Olympic. Yes, it was Woolley who picked up a knock sort of midway through that first half, and I can tell you as he was walking off at half-time he was limping, so potentially a lower leg injury for him, as Leck has the corner out on that far side, headed away by Madley to the substitute in Fox. Cunha continues his run forward. Fox, the ball behind Cronin, so he's forced to retreat. 6 goals now this campaign. What a start from him. In no hurry at the moment are the visitors, as Strickland gives it away to Lazem. Uses Saros. Nice little touch from him. Here's Leck now. He's got Yinki Kahinde there. He uses him eventually, but that ball, too much on it. Those two players not on the same wavelength. We saw a fair bit of that last weekend when they had to play that ball to Yinka Kahinde against the Knights. That final ball lacking a lot of the time, as they were well and truly not on the same wavelength there again. Roper now has the ball in the middle of the park. That's a Yanchevsky. Now Strickland. Cunha. Turns it over to Saros, who's had plenty of touches to start this second half. Deus thought about the ball, continues his run though, and turns it over cheaply, does Deus. And he's out of position. So forward go the Power. Ball from Cronin, finds Fox. Looking to get around Martin, gets a shot away eventually. Well, it was a slow shot in the end. It almost had Hunter worried, and he had to get a touch to it. And it's another corner to the Power. Had plenty of them in the first half. This is their first of the second half though, as it's Fox, the substitute, to take. In it goes. Hunter punches it away. Lofthouse is there, does well to get around Cronin. They've got numbers, it's 2-on-2. Lofthouse, still he goes. Jez Lofthouse thinking this way, that way, goes himself. Lofthouse, it's just wide. Positive signs from Olympic as they fight to get their way back into this contest, as it'll be another corner. He was just umming and ahhing there, Lofthouse, not sure what to do. Eventually he went himself, and it wasn't a bad shot in the end, just didn't get the full purchase on it with the Power defender making a key touch at a vital moment. Corner, this time Saros will take. He takes it short to Lazem. Gets it back from him. In it goes from Saros. Had some nice shape to it, that ball. Lofthouse. Important touch there from Lazem, otherwise the visitors were on the move. Crestani with the theatrics, as it's going to be a goal kick now to the Power that they'll be in absolutely no rush to take, having got that 1 goal advantage and the extra man advantage as well. Yes, as I mentioned at half time, such a key match for both sides, with the Powers' start to their season. Started off so promisingly with that opening round victory. They've then 2 goal against Gold Coast United. They then had a draw and the loss last weekend against the Knights. Here's Madley looking to get around Deus as the referee spots the free kick against the former Lions man as Deus just bowls over Madley. Got to be careful again that this doesn't get overheated. A yellow card to Deus. Can only think that Marek Madley had a few words to Shelford Deus. As that's smart from Leck, just going across to cool down the situation. Says to Deus, let's use our head now, because they can't go 2-0 down. 2 men down, that is what I should say. It's already a tough ask, but they've got to be careful. Do Olympic. Yes, that's for the Power. They've had that always. Hunter gives the ball away cheaply to Cronin as he looks to make him pay. Just didn't get enough loop and height on it from Cronin, but Hunter will have to be careful. Here's Saros now. To Lazem. To that man in Deus. Lofthouse now. Leck just wants it played early to him. McAvoy does ever so well yet again. Lofthouse gets around Roper. Does well. The home fans like that one. Ball from Strickland is an absolute perler. Madley. Glover just looking to stand him up. They've had plenty of moments like this in the first half. As Madley just heads to the corner. Gets around Glover eventually. Leck back there helping out. Did really well there, Daniel Leck. Could see his teammate was one-on-one. We saw plenty of moments like that in the first half. I've really enjoyed that battle between the former Lions man Marek Madley and Jack Glover. Leck. Saros looking to get it back to Leck. Cristani back there. It'll fall kindly for Leck in the end. Plays in Saros again. Here's Lazem. He's got Deus out on this near side. He uses him. Now Lofthouse. This is nice build-up play from Olympic. Can there be a finished product though? Still have possession. Martin drills one out to Ito. Keeps it in, does Kazuya Ito, the Japanese man. Here's Glover again. This is a nice spell of possession from the home side. They haven't had a lot of it, I've got to say. As Lazem gives the ball away cheaply after all that hard work. Cronin. Lofthouse does well, stands up and just throws his head at it to try and keep the ball there in. Inventive there from Jez Lofthouse. Yes, and such a crucial game for the Power as well. Their next 5 Knights away, Gold Coast United away, Brisbane City away, Lions away, and then East at home. So this is the first of 5 away games for the Power. And that is a tough run of fixtures for them. So they'll be looking to get all 3 points tonight, especially with having that one-man advantage. The ball from Crestani finds Cronin out to Strickland now. One-on-one with Deus. Strickland, the ball across is not a bad one. Just couldn't get any connection. The 2 strikers up front in Madley and Fox. Cunha, now to Yanchevsky. Strickland again. Madley looking to feed in his fullback in Jancheski. Hunter takes no chances this time, not mucking around with it, with Marek Madley bearing down on him. They've given the ball away as they've tried to play out of the back. Have Olympic. Here is Madley again. Glover does well. Lofthouse looking to turn Jancheski. Didn't fool him on that occasion. As the power fullback still he goes. Eventually bowls over Deus, who did well. Deus did well to shield that ball and see it out for a goal kick. As they get on with things quickly, Olympic. Ito. Saros. Too much on it from Ito. And as for Olympic, their next 5 games, not quite as hard as Peninsula Powers, but still difficult nevertheless. They've got Moreton Bay away, Roar away, Brisbane City away, Capalaba at home, and then the Wanderers at home. So the 2 promoted sides to end their next 5 games. And you'd probably say, oh, they're all winnable, and the way that the results are going this season, they're all danger games as well. For Olympic, Roper to Strickland. Glover again. He's well and truly growing in confidence. Intercepts yet again. Lazem. Bit messy from both sides as Cunha out to McHenry. Little dink over the top was looking for Fox. Martin. As Cunha looks to keep the ball in. He's done really well to somehow keep that ball alive. Strickland. Roper. They retreat back to McAvoy with the switch. Out to that man Cunha. To the goal scorer in Cronin now. Yinka Kahinde helping out back there, and he wants the free kick, but he's claims for that fall on deaf ears. Strickland now. Ball over the top is a nice one to Jancheski. Traps it well to the byline. There's the cross. It's far post to McHenry. And Saros intercepts. And somehow Ito has kept that ball alive for Saros. Feeds in Deus. Lofthouse is on his bike, but a key interception there from Jancheski. As we're going to see the offside flag here against Marek Madley. Former Lions man. Too much on it from Martin. Well, the longer this stays 1-0, the longer they just potentially give themselves a chance, Olympic, to pinch something from somewhere, as I'm sure the Power won't want this to stay at 1-0. They'll want to ice things up. Otherwise, it could get nervy at the end of this half. Here's Cronin. He's looking to change that. He's looking to get a second. Saros intercepts. Anywhere will do for him. All the way back to Reesby. Now Crestani, former Western Pride man. And Brisbane Roar player, of course. Switch out to Jancheski. Roper. Plenty of possession again for the visitors. Much like we saw in the first half. Strickland. Yancheski. Madley. Glover again. Boots it forward and it'll fall fortunately to Lofthouse. Little dink over the top from him is a nice one. Here's Yinka Kahinde. Them two combining. And Lofthouse thought he might have played it back to Yinka Kahinde. Went to Lek instead and was dispossessed. I can tell you a few of the power players are just showing some frustration as they haven't really been able to capitalise on that one-man advantage. Cronin turns it over to Martin. To Lek now. Does well, gets around Strickland. Here's Deus. He's looking for Lofthouse. Key interception from Cunha again. Cronin, nice little flick over from him. Finds Strickland and they're on the move here, are the power. Strickland, Deus got to be careful after being on that yellow card. He does well, Strickland, to Cunha. He was one of those players just barking instructions to his players before. Now Fox. Madley turns it over cheaply. Here's Lek. Just lacking that 11th player on the park when they go forward. Ball from Glover to Lofthouse. Deus. The ball slightly back of him from Lofthouse as he just apologises to his fellow teammate. Yes, if you are just tuning in, a red card in the 22nd minute to Matt Mundy, and then Sam Cronin able to capitalise straight from that free kick with a tidy effort from him, netting his 6th goal of the season. Cunha now. Almost coming to a standstill. Strickland, nice from him. Yancheski headed away by Martin. Well, that was key because Madley was waiting for it. Cronin again out to Cunha. Strickland. Fox just drops in to get a touch, the half-time substitute. Cronin. Lek does well, showing some desperation there. The man playing for Pascoe Vale in the NPL Victoria last season. He's ridden a couple of challenges there. Links up with Yinka Kahinde. Can't get it past Crestani. Well, that's what I mean with these little half chances, Olympic. If Crestani wasn't there, then they might have been able to really break forward. Strickland. Lazem to Yinka Kahinde. He might go on a run himself. Dispossessed by Cunha. Almost a bit of a chess match, this game, as both sides just feeling each other out in this second half. Saros. It's hard to get a lot of a read on this game as both sides just having inconsistent showings of possession. Saros back to Lek. Ito has made his way infield. Little dink over the top, couldn't get it past Crestani, who's made another key interception. The man coming in this season for the power. A key transfer for them. Here's Deus. Thought that might have fell to Lofthouse, but McAvoy was back there. clears it forward as Ben Khan has seen enough and he's going to go to his bench for the first time tonight. Just trying to see who is coming off. It looks like yes, it is Shelford Dayas who's going to come off on this near side. That's why I couldn't tell. That's not a big surprise after he is on a yellow card. And it is going to be a debut to Tolga Urulmaz, the number 20. What can he do on his debut? As it looks like Lek has at least momentarily dropped into a fullback position. Probably not where you want a player of his quality. And Urulmaz has dropped into that central midfield role. Roper over the top looking for Fox, but Hunter across, sees it out. Another goal kick. Starting to get slightly frustrated, the visitors. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on our effects mic, but can tell you a few players having words with their teammates. As Saros can't believe he hasn't got the throw in right underneath our broadcast position here at Goodwin Park. Cunha now. Roper to Crestani. It's been a lot of the play has been like this in the first half and the second half, with the Power just happy to play the ball around back here with the Olympic players not coming at them. Here's Strickland. Does well, that challenge flying in there from the man making his debut, as they're going to have another free kick in another dangerous position. Very similar position to what we saw in the first half, of course, at the opposite end though. Wonder if it'll be Cronin again. So yes, just repeating yellow card there to Tolga Urulmaz. Only been on the park less than 5 minutes. As Cronin, you've got to think, will be the man to hit this after what we saw in the first half. As we have just under 20 minutes to play here on this Sunday evening contest at Goodwin Park. Can Sam Cronin make it very, very difficult for the home side? As we sit and wait. It is Cronin! Just wide. Almost a carbon copy of what we saw in the first half. Just wide though of the post. Had Hunter really worried, but couldn't find the back of the net. Otherwise, that was just about game, set and match. As it would be very difficult to come back from a 2-0 deficit with being that one man down. Crestani to McAvoy, to Roper. Urulmaz just throwing his body about again. Well and truly showing that he's a fresh man on the park. Cunha. getting his umpteenth touch. Now the skipper in McAvoy. Of course, the former Olympic player in Sam Cronin, so back to haunt his old side on a pitch that he was very familiar with. Roper. Just playing keepings off again. Now to Janchevsky. Lek has well and truly dropped into that right fullback position. Cunha. Strickland, can they do something going forward? The Power, they have been slightly disappointing, you've got to say, going forward after having that one-man advantage. They've well and truly controlled proceedings, but going forward, that final ball has been lacking a number of times. There's McHenry and Lofthouse just running in both directions out on that far side of the pitch. Back to Crestani again. Well, it's been goals galore in this round 4 of the NPL. But tonight, just the one goal so far. We've seen 31, coming into this game, we've seen 31 goals in 5 matches, just over 6 goals per game. And these two sides putting on a 4-3 and a 5-1 display. Last season you thought for all money we were going to see plenty of goals out here tonight, but just the one at the moment. As Martin goes forward, this time Yinka Kahinde might be able to get on the end of it, and Crestani across. Solid challenge from him. Winning the ball and also winning the throw-in for his side. What an inclusion to the Power squad he has been and is going to be for the rest of the season. Going to be right up there yet again. The Power, they don't know really how to have a bad season after what we saw going undefeated in the Football Queensland Premier League, and then another impressive showing last season with their first season in the NPL. Here's your Ulmaz, does well, turns and finds Lofthouse. Nice work from the substitute. Here he goes, Lofthouse does well. Lofthouse strikes a crossbar. Here's Saros now. Can you believe that? Here's Strickland. Lazem does well, Strickland. Out to Fox, the substitute, as Lofthouse is bearing down on him. Looking to track back. He does well, Fox. Skips around Lofthouse. Ball looking for Madley. Back post. Too close to Hunter. This game starting to get stretched. Lek on the ball. He did everything right there, Lofthouse. Skipping around Crestani, and that is no easy thing to do. As Lek goes forward, that comes off Janchevsky. Throw it for Olympic. Are they starting to build and potentially set up a grandstand finish? Such a tricky customer is Jez Lofthouse. You just don't know if he's going to go with his left or his right. He's got bags of ability with both. That time he went with his left. Cannon off the crossbar. There's a disappointing ball there, so a goal kick to the visitors, which Revesby is in no rush to take, as it looks like the Power are going to make their second substitution of this evening. Looks like it's going to be the number 17 in James Fairgrieve coming on, and it looks like it's going to be Marek Madley, the former Lions man, coming off. Has not been his night. He's been well held from Jack Glover. Sensational effort from him, as Madley can see frustrated out on that far side as he comes off. He won't care though if his side get all 3 points tonight. Sometimes it just doesn't quite fall for you. He had plenty of times last season, of course, where it did, scoring 20 goals in 28 matches. Yurulmaz, that nice turn and pass to set up Lofthouse a moment ago. There's Glover, he's got to be careful. Plays it back to Hunter. Now Lazem to Yurulmaz. Over the top, and it looks like Olympic also have made a change with the number 32, David Shimway, who's on the ball now, right on cue. Hunter, well and truly off his line, and thought he was going to play it forward, but confidence from him. Plays in Leck, and he might have started something here. Shimway to Lofthouse, Lofthouse to Ito. On the far side, numbers in the middle, deflection, Crestani. Leck is there, Lofthouse is there, this way, that way. Here is Shimway. The substitute, just looking to create something. He does create something. Shot coming in, draws the round of applause from the home fans, as it looks like it was the number 12 in Costa Saros making way for him. This game just starting to build a bit. Both sets of supporters getting involved. Glover does well yet again. To Lazem. Now to Ito. Olympic might just be starting to warm to the task. Yinka Kahinde. Well held yet again from Crestani. Roper now. Just when you feel like Olympic are pressing and moving forward and getting back into this game, the Power can just settle and make use of that one-man advantage and relax on the ball, as they're doing so here through Crestani. Plays in McKennery. Nice play there on that occasion. Dispossessed was Cronin, as Fairgrieve did well. Lofthouse bowled over yet again. So we saw a bit of that in the first half. Ito, throw in from him. Glover now. He's got Leck there, he uses him. Hasn't had as many touches, Daniel Leck, since going to that fullback role. Just looking for numbers ahead of him, instead retreats to Glover. Now to Shimway with the step over. Well done from Yanchevsky. Not being fooled. Yanchevsky with the nutmeg on Shimway. As they look to play out of the back. Some of these Olympic players, I can tell you, are out on their feet, including Jez Lofthouse out on that far side. Understandable being that one-man advantage down. One man down, sorry. Here's Cronin, numbers here for the Power. Forward goes Cronin, he's got Fairgrave to his left, still he goes. Here is a chance, Hunter off his line, still could be a chance. Cronin hits it, but it falls fortunately to Hunter, who has a few choice words for the referee. Cronin going in search of that second. Here's Lofthouse to Martin. Glover now out on his feet for Olympic. Here's a Shimway. Will he look to run at Yanchevsky, looking to feed in Yurulmaz, whose touches let him down. They might just run out of legs in the end, Olympic, as we're going to see a third and final substitution for Peninsula Power. Looks like it's going to be that man, the goal scorer, the former Olympic man, in Sam Cronin, who is making way for what appears to be the number 19 in Mitchell Bird. So, third and final substitute for the Power. Here's a Shimway out to Leck. The ball from Lazem. As that ball kicked up near our broadcast position. What can they do, Olympic? Can there be late drama here at Goodwin Park? As we enter the 86th minute. Martin. Bird just chasing. Here's Lazem to a Shimway, who's looked exciting since coming on, showing plenty of dash. Leck to Yurulmaz, also has shown signs. Nice ball to Lofthouse. Here's Ito, them two linking up. McHenry getting back. Did well, put it out for a throw-in. It's now or never for Olympic. Glover up forward. They're going to well and truly go for this. Martin now to Glover. The two centre-backs linking up forward. Here's a Shimway. Going this way, that way a Shimway. Crestani. Difficult to fool him as he boots it forward. Ito chasing back there for the throw-in. Martin's got to be careful because he had Roper bearing down on him. Glover. Crestani just puts his foot through it. Glover's got to be careful because the substitute in Bird is putting plenty of pressure on. Leck forced to retreat to Hunter. Here's Martin now. Does well, Martin. Gets around Fox. Runs forward. Plays in Ito. Continues his run. Ito, the ball just too much on it for Lofthouse. Well, if they do go down tonight, they've showed a lot of fight. You've got to say, Olympic, after going down to 10 men so early on in this contest. It's going to be a throw-in to Olympic, much to the disgust of some of the Power players. Glover now. Forward he goes. Yinka Kahinde, the flag appeared to stay down, and if he could have just got his touch right, Yinka Kahinde was in on goal. as the power defenders have a few words to say to the linesman. Now Janchevsky. Out to Fairgrieve. Fairgrieve just tussling and somehow gets the free kick to go his way in the end. Advantage played. Here's Fox out to McInnery. He's got numbers in the middle. McInnery goes himself instead. Back to Roper. Now Strickland. As we're about to enter the 90th minute here of action and injury time. Now or never, it looks like it's Kristen Waters warming up for Olympic. As he might look to cause some havoc up front. Was a late substitute last weekend against the Knights, and he's going to be another one here. Leck. Just looking and propping out to a Shimway. Turns it over to Janchevsky as Hunter. Now quickly to try and make this throw in. They're not going to be able to do so because it's going to be the third and final change for Olympic. It's going to be the captain. Number 19 in Phil Lazem making way for the number 15 in Kristen Waters. So what can he do as Lazem just gives the armband to Tyson Martin. Throw in from Leck to Hunter. Now or never, well and truly for Olympic. Martin streaming forward, Urulmaz. He turn it over. Lofthouse does well to stand up in that challenge. He beat Fox. Here's Martin again. Here's Shimway. Dispossessed though by Strickland as he strides forward. Here's a chance. Can they well and truly ice this game? Ball back across. Urulmaz in the way. It was Bird out on that far side. Thought that might have been the moment for the power to ice this game. There's Shimway. Not falling his way. David Shimway. Pardon the pun. As the power have a throw in. In no rush to take it, as I mentioned. Difficult fixtures coming up from there for them. This is just about it. Lofthouse didn't see Fox coming. Plays it into Bird, who's just bundled over. Solid contact. Referee puts the whistle away yet again. And we play on. Here's Ito, Lofthouse, McInnery. Throw in goes in favour of Olympic this time. Credit to both players there getting up straight away. Tyson Martin and Mitchell Bird. What a collision, but they got straight back up. Urulmaz. Time running out here at Goodwin Park. Is there late drama? Leck, there's Martin. Cops one to the head. He's in the wars at the minute. Lofthouse goes himself. Headed away on that occasion by Fairgrieve. Is there time left? Lofthouse stays down. There's no substitutes left. There's barely any time left. Urulmaz. The substitutes combining as Shimway. Roper just puts it out. Anywhere will do. As there's not much time left in this contest. Leck. Well and truly. Now or never for Olympic. Glover to Martin to Leck. Still he goes Daniel Leck. Still he goes Daniel Leck. A slumming run. And he goes down, and there's going to be afters here again as this contest threatening to boil over yet again. What a run from Daniel Leck. And I can only think that it was something that was said. I think it was Cameron Crestani who he just pushed over. What an unbelievable run from Daniel Leck. Just unable to get the shot away in the end, as some of the fans here call for VAR. So it looks like we're going to have a throw-in in the end. To Olympic, as the referee just goes across to have a couple of words to his linesman. I think the centre referee was happy to get on with things straight away, but the linesman's potentially spotted something. Obviously, you'd think they'd be talking about the push from Daniel Leck, but appeared to be all handbags from here. As yes, the referee has spotted something. I'm not sure who he's calling over. It looks like it's Kristen Waters. Is there going to be another card? For a second I thought I saw a card coming out. And it's also Cameron Crestani there as well. As we're going to see a yellow to Crestani and a yellow to Waters, who has also just come on. And we can get things back underway yet again. As we're in the 4th minute, entering the 5th minute now of extra time. There can't be long left in this contest. Hunter to Martin. Here's Waters. The man, the substitute. Martin with the header out to another substitute, and in Shimway. He's got to get the ball in the box. There's Shimway. There's the cutback, bundled over, well defended from the Power, and they clear it. Throw in, is there time to take it? We play on. Leck to Martin. Leck. Ito back to Martin. Finally the cross in from him. And there's a push from Crestani on Waters, as the home fans wanted a penalty. Not given though. And there is the full-time whistle. It has ended 1-0 in favour of the Peninsula Power over Olympic FC. We might just stay with this for a minute. A few of the Olympic coaching staff having words to the referee. What a exciting contest we've seen tonight. It only ended 1-0, but a fiery contest between these two sides. A gallant effort from Olympic after going down to 10 men so early on in this contest, thanks to that red card from Matt Mundy. And then it was Sam Cronin able to capitalise for the visitors and putting the Power 1-0 up, and that was enough. Neither side able to register a goal after that. So in the end, a fascinating and intriguing contest. Looking forward to this game, this fixture, again later on in the season. There'll be plenty of spice in it yet again, you would think. But that might just about wrap things up here from Goodwin Park. I've been Jared Neck, and thank you very much for tuning in to this intriguing clash. In the end, it is the visitors getting the win, 1-0 over Olympic FC. Thank you and good evening.